So yeah, I mean, how was it from when we first spoke about it and you came up with the name Space Potatoes, and then obviously we started putting together the music, and I'd be sending you and Chris music, and then Chris would be sending stuff through and whatever. From them, when you were like, I wonder what this is going to be like. Is it going to be any good, or is it just going to be like some silly bullshit? That, to actually seeing it there. But what changed for you? Did anything change along the way?
Not really. No, when you come up with the idea, I was like, that's actually really good. I think that's going to interest a lot of people, and everyone was going through the exact same thing, with like just basically the entire planet shutting down, and everyone in our industry having to leave tours. We just started one and had to come home literally 8 gigs in. I just think this is going to be great. So it's kind of bittersweet, because it's great, but at the same time, it's like we genuinely don't have any work.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it was kind of bittersweet. Like I was looking forward to making it, and this is going to be really fun. And I always believed in it, like, it's going to be great. But at the same time, in the back of my mind, I was like, how long is this going to go on for? Like, when are we going to go back to work? Like, actually,
I mean,
so
it's.
I mean, but nothing. Well, the only thing that changed is that we didn't have any work. Didn't have any proper, didn't have any income for a while. That's the only thing that changed. But I've always loved the idea of this.
It's a brilliant idea, Dave. I might put my oar in.
Well, come up to the microphone, Jill. Come and say.
I remember when Ricky said about it when we was back in Thamesmead, and I said, what a brilliant idea that is, because as Ricky said, people can relate to that in the music business, as well as fans who ain't able to see their bands. Do you know what I mean? And what are they doing while all this shit's going on, be it spoof? But yeah, brilliant.
But yeah, I mean, you watched all 3, and obviously it was new to you watching each episode through. So it's interesting to see, because obviously you knew that we were doing this thing, but when you saw it come out, was it like...
It was brilliant. I laughed out loud. It was great. Yeah. Ricky, when you go, no, I'm no different. Well, no, you're not really, are you? You're just sitting there going, well, fucking, I don't give a fuck. Fuck them. But it's brilliant. And your character, Dave, is great. Like, I'm God.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, I was saying to Chris yesterday in the conversation, there is a big difference. Like, I think a lot of people say it is an exaggerated version of me, because there's definitely bits that are, but I don't actually like working on my own and just want to do it. I mean, even on this, working with Ricky, working with Chris, working with Sean, and doing it as a team and getting people's feedback. I like to do so. I mean, fair enough, I do take lead on stuff, but then when I've edited something, I like to send it around, get people's opinions, rework things and stuff, and that's...
But it's all down to your hard work, why things are turning out so brilliantly.
Well...
Don't fucking tell him that, for fuck's sake.
No, but there is a thing that if I was left to do it on my own, it wouldn't happen. You can be a driving force beside somebody. You still need a team of people to drive, and it all came together really, really nicely. Whereas in that, I did play that kind of like, I'm completely sick of it and I'm the only person that's any good at this, which we've all met those people in music, haven't we, Jill?
But I'm very Joe Public, and always have been all the way through all the to Pow stuff. I never ever got caught about anything. I've always been able to, I feel, give like a Joe Public opinion, and I just think it's a brilliant idea. It's Spinal Tap, but better.
Yeah, I think it gets a lot darker and it's set in a different kind of time. But series 2 is going to be interesting. But I can't believe it's like a year, and then in the last year, not only has the mini series got made, but we've started a podcast. I mean, almost every Sunday, apart from a week or two where we've had off, every Sunday we got together, and Trev's come in on the team. It's been such a journey, the whole thing.
Oh, it's brilliant, and who knows where it's going to go.
That's what I'd say. It might be series 2, series 3, series 4. Someone discovers it and goes, hey, and a bit goes viral, and then everyone goes back and finds it. And then, it was series 3 or 4 of Black Mirror before anyone really noticed it.
Yeah. But before you know it, it could be a Netflix thing. Come on.
So, like, series 2 wise, obviously, we're a lot more, now we've seen it, we're a lot more kind of into what our characters are like. So do you still think it will be the same, or do you think it'll be a lot more efficient? We kind of know who we are a lot better.
Yeah, I'll definitely think our characters, we know our characters a lot more now, and I think now that, oh, actually, no, I'm not going to say that because it might give it away. Now that I'm like more of a shareholder, I
We
think
could say that happens in the first scene.
Yeah, okay. You know, maybe I'll become more amplified. You know, I feel like I've got more of a say in it. You know, it'd just be funny and, you know, like improvise. I know that the script's already done, but, you know.
No, but there's loads of room for improvisation.
Yeah, there's
as well.
room. There'll be loads of room for it, like improvising and stuff. And
the script's kind of like half script and half bullet points.
Yeah. I'll just stay me, but every now and again, I'll just make a funny comment about, you know, this is my house too. Get out.
You do. You've also obviously since Baked, because me and Chris did pretty much the writing of the best of, which was kind of, you know, started as, if we're going to do a parody band, we need some parody songs, and then it turned out being like an 18-track album, which 12 of which ended up on the vinyl. But then since we kind of did that and realised people really like the songs and whatever, we've been writing more and more, and you're now contributing stuff. Obviously, you've done, you know, particularly Foxes has stood out as everyone's favourite. And at first you were a little bit worried, like you weren't into the same, because you're a little bit younger, you weren't into that scene as much. But I think with Foxes, it showed that you can do. We don't have to just be doing exactly what Blur would do, you know. It's just you really do contribute huge amount.
No, I didn't know, well, and I still don't know how to write a Britpop style song, where like you and Chris, you know, you that was your, you know, that was your era, like your bands, like your masters at it. I've kind of had the freedom to, you know, be a part of it. I mean, would you say they're not really Britpop style songs?
I think they become like they to me they do sound like Britpop.
They become they become a part of it, you know, because it is a part of it and people like it, and
I get hold of it and I then produce it and put certain sounds and guitar bits on it and production techniques, and it becomes.
Yeah, I think that is a massive part that, you know.
When the song's a song. And then with the production, you can take it in whatever direction you want, style-wise, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, for instance, How to Live, you know, it's very coffee and TV. And I was like, Dave, just make this sound like, well, just make this sound like coffee and TV. And you did, you know, like the solos and stuff like that, and the you know, the production of it and everything. So
yeah, Foxes was a little bit. There was Blur-esque parts of it. There's a song called "Strange News from Another Star," which I got some influence from, and there's He Thought of Cars. There's a song by Blur called "He Thought of Cars," where it really breaks down. Where after they have the big intro of the band all playing, and then it comes down, and it's just Damon and a sort of electric piano. There might be a strummy acoustic with a phaser over it, and this kind of theremin. And I thought with Foxes, when I was listening to that, I thought, if we break down, have that electric piano. And
that's exactly what you done, wasn't it? Yeah.
I did. So there are definite bits, even though it ended up sounding a bit more sort of Bowie overall, and I definitely got like the Rick Wakeman type piano stuff in it.
Yeah.
There are definite kind of Blur bits, because they were ripping off from Bowie. So in a lot of ways, what you did is you skipped the Britpop and you kind of went for a sound that was what Britpop were ripping off. So you've ended up sounding Britpop without realising it, I think.
Yeah, I'll take it. I mean, I love the song. You know, I'm proud of it. I think you've done a fantastic job producing it and just adding stuff to it. What's that?
It's not finished yet. Not
finished yet. No. We've got some stuff to do to it, but for now, you know, it sounds great. And well, I just think, you know, the songs that I write are just so different to like what yours and Chris's have been.
But I think that adds to the richness of it. You know?
It all works, you know. You know, we've thrown it all in a pot, and it is what it is. You know, it's space potatoes, and you know,
it does sound consistent. It's not like we go from 1,000 Things to Foxes, and people are like, "Oh my god, it's a totally different." Band.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, if you look from, you know, like the Baked, all the stuff, and then you got 1,000 Things is not on Baked, is it?
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, it's on the first album. Yeah, 1,000 Things was. The 1,000 Things to me was kind of like the teller of things to come, because that's the only album, that's the only song on Baked, I'd say that, and Chris's Second Sight, I'd say they're the only two songs on the album that aren't really 100% direct rip-offs or a parody of something. We were very much doing a parody on that, whereas I think moving forward with 14, although it's in the style of certain things, they're not all direct parodies, particularly with Megalomania as well. So
yeah, I mean, like 1,000 Things, you've got like it's in the style of like it's like ballady,
yeah,
and it's miles apart from Monday.
absolutely. But
So
then
that
again,
kind
it was meant to be 15 years of a band. So you would, over 15 years, the band would progress and produce.
Yeah, exactly. So that kind of gave me the freedom to write these, the style that they are. I mean, I wouldn't know what style they would come under, but they're just good songs. So
I think that's the thing. When you have a good song, it's a good song, and that's all that.
Yeah,
matters.
exactly. Yeah.
So give us your honest opinion on Birds, your song that you didn't write.
The song that I didn't write. I mean, I like it.
It's a funny song. So when you read that out, I had actually texted you when you read it out on the actual episode. I had texted it to you before, but you were reading it from my phone, and then you kind of did
in the actual
episode,
series,
and you did all these pretty good sort of acting bits, like where you went, "She might have a great bummer," and you kind of looked on like that, and it's like you really got that, and that was just your first read through, Yeah,
I mean,
you're a natural.
I am a natural.
You're a natural. This is an interesting question because some people have levelled at it at me, and I kind of find it funny. But do you consider what we've done acting, or do you consider what we do when we played live in a band to some degree acting as well? Or is there just the lines are just nowadays with YouTube and bands doing this? Are they all just so blurred that it doesn't really matter anymore? Because it's interesting the reaction I've had of people going, "Oh, are you acting now?" And I'm thinking, well, not really. I won't call it acting. It's
no, it's not. No, I wouldn't say it's acting. I mean, obviously, some of it is, yeah. Some of it is, but it's not. We're basically playing ourselves, obviously, but with a little bit exaggerated. So I wouldn't say it's acting. I just think it's natural.
But then again, with modern programs and stuff like that, slight tangent here, but you do see people more cast to play something because they naturally would play it like that. So, like, back in the day, it was Arnold Schwarzenegger would play Arnold Schwarzenegger in whatever film he was in, and then it's
like that. What's it? Schrader from Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
he's always a policeman in every fucking film he's been in. He's a cop. It's because he plays a good cop,
and that's what he does. And the people
look at his background and the films he's been in, and you will say most of the stuff, probably 80-90% of the films that he's been in, he's always played a cop because he just suits being a cop.
That's the way it goes. In the same way that James Gandolfini always played that kind of mobby, thuggy mafia boss.
Exactly. Because that's just what they're good at.
It's an interesting one though, because we, I feel sometimes, if you've had a really shit day and you go out and do a gig, but you've still got to walk up on stage and do a certain thing and wave at the right time and leave the stage, and it is to some degree no different to like being in a theatre show where you have your stage cues and you go on and you do your bit of acts and you leave again. And I think the lines are just so blurred. It's just entertainment at the end of the day. Same as getting on and doing a podcast.
We're professionals. We're a professional.
Professional entertainers.
That's it. We're entertainers. We're professional entertainers. We go on stage. It literally doesn't matter if you're feeling like shit. You have a job to do. We do it. We've all gone on stage feeling like shit, not wanting to do it, but we do it. And the audience wouldn't know a blind bit of difference.
And I don't think anything's different when we get in front of the camera and we do a spudathon, or if I'm like, right, we got to do a scene on Zoom. Let's all get on Zoom.
Yeah, exactly. I'm asked to do something. I'll do it. I'm asked to do something in a certain way, or
you dye your hair.
I'm never going to do that. Ever. That's the only time I'm not going to be a professional. But no, it's just, it's just how it is. I wouldn't say that we're actors, there's a job to do. If there's an idea, you do this in a certain way, I'll do it in a certain way.